Oh. So we are jumping into this one halfway through. It is a best of 5, and it is the second round. Super Saiyan in the bottom side, playing as Demeter, which is nice to see. She has been buffed in a sense. She's had some buffs, and also there's been an indirect buff because one of her attacks wasn't working before. So we might see that one in this game. And the top side, the right top side here is Asem. Asem is one of the best team game players there is. He's also like a 2K rated 1v1 player. I think he's about 2K. Super Saiyan's about 1900. So they're super, super close. And they are 1-1 currently. We're jumping in after the second game. So we have Asem playing the Zeus. So it is a Greek mirror. And you might be looking at this map thinking, what the hell is this map? If you're not familiar with Pandoras Box, which is the tournament that we are currently running, it is... Look at this wood. This is a map made by a guy called Al. And I believe this is an AoE 4 map. I've never played AoE 4, but I remember watching a video of somebody playing a map like this where they slowly chopped through and then got into the enemy's base. Or kind of like Iron Forest or Black Forest, whatever it's called, from AoE 2 as well, I guess. But we have our own version now, and it is slightly different for AoM, because, I mean, there's easy ways to get through this. There's Underworlds for Asem, there's Forest Fires, there's Wither for Super Saiyan, his first god power here. If we were just to hit F1, can I see what it looks like? Yeah, you can hit quite a way through there. It's quite a long stretch. Maybe you wouldn't get quite a lot. It's kind of awkward because some of the spawns are really small. You get something like this, there's hardly anything. And some spawns are quite big. So when I was figuring it out, trying to see if I wanted to do some kind of Odin rush or something like that, where you would use the Forest Fire, get a couple of Valkyries through, I found that some maps it worked really easily, and some maps like there were like 2 trees left over, and the rush kind of stops dead if you if you can't work it out, and you have to walk all the way around because the 2 trees stop you, which is a shame. But what are we seeing come through for these players? No super early advance times. I think that makes sense. There is an early temple for Super Saiyan. You also put the temple next to the town center. And I haven't had a chance to make this short yet because it's been a busy week. But there's actually a button here for Demeter, and I don't think there is a button here for Zeus. I could be wrong. There isn't. So you see there isn't a button here, but there is for the Demeter player to get herdables straight to the temple. You could just hit that button, similar to you can hit the one for the town center, and you can just bring it to the temple. Short, coming soon, possibly, maybe. Yeah, I haven't had any chance. But anyway, what do we got? We got Asem going through Athena, and then 1 villager later for Super Saiyan. Looks like he's not sure which one he wants to go through. A couple of seconds there, it's not going to make any difference, and it is going to be Ares. So we've got Ares, the god of choice this time. I mean, Pan would be a good option if you want to sit inside your kind of little cubby here, because you can drop down your village center and do something like that. The issue is you're going to run out of resources pretty quick. So the hunt is already finished, so you've got standard to every other map. You've got your berry bushes, you've got your chickens, your gold mine is on the front, and there's nothing else in here. So I think you might even get trapped in your area if you're going to go for a village center. So maybe Pan doesn't make too much sense. The town centers as well are quite far away, and they've got nothing on them. Maybe this one has a gold mine kind of close, does have a hunt pack. This town center's kind of nice. It's quite far away from the starting base, considering you have to walk all the way around this way. But it does have a gold mine. It has a gold mine that's kind of easy to block off here with walls and such. And I want to see what kind of Zeus, or not Zeus, Greek mirror we see. Because when you do see Zeuses, they quite often go for mass Minotaurs. If you have like some kind of Zeus versus Hades matchup, and they stay 1 TC, it's often Minotaurs and heroes. But there's not really the option for Super Saiyan to do the same. The only other option would be Cyclops, but Cyclops are good against those human units rather than the enemy myth units. They do have that damage multiplier, but you really want to get that throw off, and you don't have a throw with going up against myth units and your heroes, basically. So we have Asem is getting his town center. He doesn't know what Super Saiyan is doing, and I love this play. I think players should do this anyway, and it's something that even I don't do, even though I preach it a lot, is get a Pegasus out really early, especially on these new funky maps. Like, why would you not want to go for these? Pegasus coming through to see if there are any military buildings. He hasn't seen any yet, They obviously could be within this dark area, but I believe he wants to check the town center. And he's already out on the hunt here, and the settlement is going to get spotted. So what does Super Saiyan want to do? It is on him now to sort something out, whether or not he wants to go for his own town center or something else. He's dropped another archery range. He does have the resources for a town center, so he could just bite the bullet and go for one slightly later. Not great in a mirror, but he could also get a couple of units out. I don't think he's built anything yet. He doesn't. Or he's going for this wither attack, but I just don't know whether you make it the whole way through. Maybe that's something that he is kind of contemplating. He has all the pigs under the sun. 20 pigs, 3 goats. What are we looking like this side? I need to change the guy. 12. Absolutely massive amount of pigs coming through. And there is not a town center coming up. SM does come over just to make sure that there isn't a town center in response. Increased building hit points coming through for Mr. Orpheus. That's a lot of pork. That is a lot of pork. I think that's the best way to say it. Look at the amount of pork right there. An armory, and it is going to be not going up to the next stage because he is building units. What is he up to? I mean, he does have time. It isn't like when someone drops a second town center down after a minute. That's it. You know, you've got plenty of time to figure out what you want to do before SM can really do anything about this advantage. He spent 700 resources here. He's spending 50 resources more every 16 seconds. And they don't quite pay for themselves for a few minutes. So you do have to watch out if you are SM. I assume he's building some units somewhere. Or is he not? He doesn't have any buildings up yet. He is going full on eco, hand axe, pickaxe, just building villages. And one gathering favor. Obviously getting his early heroes out. And in comes the Pegasus coming in. Just a double, triple check that there's nothing going on there. And I think this is some kind of wither situation. It just has to be more archery rangers dropping down. This is very similar to the old JA special, the John Arbiter Underworld Cyclops drop with your Toxotes. The thing is the wither going to work? What I would have liked to see, just because it's a little bit clunky here, is chopping the wood here, just so there's slightly less trees that you need to get through. But there are 4 Cyclops. And Ennio's Bow of Horror, extra damage for the Toxotes. He is really banking on getting through here. If he puts it the right way, I mean, can we kind of see? Oh, I'm playing as the wrong guy. It's going to be close. Look how close that is. If he puts it in the right spot, but it always seems to leave a couple of trees. When I've played Demeter, it just seems like it doesn't kill everything within this area. But hopefully for Super Saiyan it does, because this is a scary looking army, and SM will not have anything to deal with this unless he, I don't know, gets some units out pretty sharpish. He will have a bolt to deal with something, and it is coming through. The wither is on the way, and it does take every tree out. It would even have another couple of trees coming through. I'm sure he's tested it. Yes, but they're a different... rewind if you want to hear the explanation again. But anyway, Cyclops coming through. There is a Minotaur for SM. Like I say, does have a bolt for one of these guys. There is Will of Kronos coming out very soon. But it is mainly about that throw damage that, as I said, is probably not going to make much difference now. Town Center at the front will go down. SM, what does he do about it? Does he just leave it? Just go, I'm just going to use this back situation now. I've got back gold. Kind of close to my town center. I haven't built any units here. I've not lost any villagers. And that is what SM is saying. He's just going to give up on that position. Does manage to steal his own pigs away, which is nice. He's leaving a couple of stray villagers. These villagers are going to be in for a world of pain if the Cyclops... Oh, I thought he was maybe going to bolt the Cyclops, but he just ends up bolting the Orpheus because that would make the Toxotes into heroes. So that was a kind of a nice play there. Restoration is going to get used. No, there's only Pestilence on the blue side. Not really going to be much use. But the Minotaurs are unupgraded. They're kind of lackluster, to say the least. Even with Orpheus down. Iolus going in, doing so much damage. 400 on that guy. Basically taking out one Minotaur on his own. Pestilence coming down for good measure anyway. Being slower to train some of these guys. And Super Saiyan's hit a pretty nice timing here with his Wither. And the Toxotes are going to be able to take out these 3 villagers too, and then basically bring it back to villager equilibrium. Heracles on the front side. Again, Jason coming out. And I think the Cyclops are kind of overstaying their welcome. The Toxotes can go for them. I just think it'd be so much better to just snipe the remaining villagers. Maybe he didn't have the line of sight of it. He does. He does have the line of sight. Anyway, watchtowers did come through. And the one Cyclops that's left over will be dealing with that. And the Toxotes, this is why this comp is so nice against someone like Greeks, where Greeks have just a couple of heroes, and the Toxotes backline can just pick out any unit that they really want to, and just snipe them down for free. There is a watchtower for them to now sneak into, but the Cyclops will be dealing with that one pretty nicely. And I think if you're Super Saiyan, you just keep pumping. No reason not to. It's true. If you get a Cyclops over here, or even just the Toxotes while the Cyclops were going for the town center, you just snipe all 9 of these. I mean, it did also have these 9 as well. It'd be absolutely brutal. But nice pickup again. And Super Saiyan's hit. I mean, he's done so much damage, and now the villager numbers are equal. Even though SM did have that 2TC. Maybe pushing through a little bit too far. The Toxotes on this backside, they don't have the Ares upgrade, obviously. They don't have medium, so they're just nowhere near as good as these Demeter versions. And just more coming through from this side. And he can just sit in his base for as long as he wants. There are some villagers chilling here, but I'm sure they're going to be tasked onto the pork as soon as possible. And these guys cost a hell of a lot of food. Well, a hell of a lot of food. Some food and a decent amount of favor. So that's all he really needs to just sit in his base to get that one. 900 gold left here. But, I mean, there aren't any vast units that can get around this wood line very quickly at all. From our red player here. I mean, there are some Hippias in to deal with the Toxotes, but it takes them ages to get over, and they really need to be here to defend this Cyclops Ares push. Toxotes putting in a shift. What have they got? They've got 2k damage between them. It's quite a lot of that's probably been on the buildings, but they don't really do much damage to buildings anyway, so it doesn't really matter. SM's defending pretty nicely here, or not really defending, but moving his army around. That Super Saiyan's Cyclops just aren't getting the value that he really wants. Basically just biding time, and that's what these top players do so well. But the blue player here, he can't just commit, because he could end up losing so many units because the town center's doing more damage. Maybe the Toxotes are going to sit behind the stable. They're not going to get that throw damage on. I think SM's not going to let the throw really happen. And this is why the Demeter just goes, okay, all the Cyclops go after the town center. It's definitely worth leaving 1 or 2 behind to sort out the backline. But he's saying, even if I lose the units, I take out the town center, so nothing to worry about here. There are no Minotaurs in this army either, so Orpheus not really getting max value. Toxotes all going down, but that is another town center down. The question is that one worth it? The first one, definitely. Maybe these throws are going to make it worth it. Could be huge. Oh, such massive damage. And the Toxotes are not retreating at all. Another throw coming through. Another whack. Another whack. And the Cyclops, now they've finished up on that town center. They can just wreak havoc on all these units. There's nothing to deal with them. There's no town center to even build the heroes. Are the heroes in? Heroes are down. No town center to rebuild them. No fortresses because he's in the classical age. So these Cyclops are just going to run an absolute muck. What can SM do about this now? I don't think there's much he really can do. Look at the AoE damage they do to the villagers. It is disgusting. It's microing as best as he can. SM. Big yeet on the bottom side. When you throw the Hippias, it doesn't quite kill them just because they have so much HP, whereas if you throw a Toxotes, they pretty much get one shot. But it's that splash damage when they land. Oh, big villager throw on this side. Oh, we don't get to see it. SM knew that he was going to lose all those villagers. I mean, it was always looking rough anyway. Villagers do run down looking for something, but Super Saiyan, well played to get the Wither working. I think it's a pretty sick play.